Rain fell in torrents, not from the heavens, but from Segun's face, a bitter mix of sweat and tears. His machete carved weakly into the hard earth of Oloruko. His hands blistered. Segun, walk faster, Joe. The farm owner, Chief Adetokunbo, backed. You are slower than a lazy goat. Segun sighed, swallowing the bitter lump in his throat. His ancestors had tilled the soil in Oloruko village for generations, and like them, he was destined to live and die poor. The weight of this realization felt heavier than the hoe he wielded. As he walked on the farmland, Segun's eyes caught movement on the edge of the bush path. An old man, frail yet dignified, shuffled with a bundle of leaves, almost too heavy for his bent frame. Without a word, Segun dropped his tools and approached. Baba, let me help you with that, Segun offered, wiping his brow. The old man paused, his sharp knowing eyes locking onto Segun's. What do they call you, young man? I am Segun, Baba. Ah, Segun? Victory in name, yet defeat in life. Help me carry this, and I will give you something more valuable than gold. Segun wiped his brow and nodded without hesitation. Lead the way, Baba. The man's house was little more than a hut tucked away in a clearing, but its walls were lined with shelves of mysterious jars and dried herbs. Grateful for Segun's help, the old man handed him a small bundle of leaves, their scent sharp and earthy. Chew one whenever you are in great danger. But beware, their power reveals more than it hides. Segun stared at the leaf. It was unremarkable. Its green edges fraying. Baba, is this some kind of joke? You dey whine? The old man chuckled. Do as you will, Segun. But remember, even the smallest thing can change the course of life. Weeks later, Oloruko's peace was shattered. Warriors from the neighboring village of Ajilogo swept in like a storm, burning huts, seizing crops, and cutting down anyone who resisted. Segun's heart pounded as he crouched in his tiny hut, clutching the only possessions he had left, the bundle of leaves, of course. As the warrior's footsteps approached, his mind raced. Could the old man's gift really help him? With trembling hands, he placed a leaf in his mouth and chewed. A strange sensation washed over him, like cool water flowing through his veins. If you haven't subscribed by now, this is a perfect time to touch that subscribe button. Now let's proceed. When he looked down, he saw nothing. He had vanished. The warriors busted into the hut, their spears gleaming in the firelight, but saw only emptiness. Segun watched breathless as they ransacked his home before leaving. Once they were gone, he slipped out unnoticed, his heart hammering in his chest. Life in Oloruko slowly returned to normal, but Segun couldn't forget the power of the leaves. As he walked on the farm, he thought about the possibilities. If the leaves could save his life, what else could it do? One night, hunger growled at his belly. He stared at the village chief's house, where bags of yams and coins were stored. He chewed the leaves, and once invisible, he slipped inside the house, unseen by the guards. When he emerged, his pockets were full. No one saw me, he whispered to himself, a grin spreading across his face, not even the gods. In 3 months, Segun transformed from a poor farmhand to the richest man in Oloruko. He wore fine clothes, built the largest hut in the village, and even hosted lavish feasts. But whispers of an invisible thief spread through the village, and fear gripped the people. The old man appeared at Segun's doorstep one evening, his face shadowed by the flickering lantern light. Baba, Segun exclaimed, come share in my wealth. The old man's expression was grim. Segun, how many times did I call you? The leaves were not meant for greed. Their power amplifies your desires, but it also curses you. Segun laughed. Curse me? Look around, Baba. I've beaten the gods at their own game. The old man shook his head. You cannot escape the weight of your actions. The leaves will betray you when you least expect it. But Segun's pride blinded him. He ignored the warning, believing himself untouchable. One night, Segun set his sights on the palace treasury. The guards were distracted by a festival, and he chewed the leaves, confident in his plan. But as he reached for the gold, his body flickered. For a moment, he was visible. The guards turned their eyes, widening in shock. Thief! Thief! Segun fled, but the leaves' power wavered. He stumbled into the forest, pursued by guards. Exhausted, he collapsed near the old man's hut. Help me, he begged. The old man's voice was cold. You must fix what you have broken. Return what you stole and use your wealth to heal the village. Only then will the curse lift. Segun nodded, tears streaming down his face. I will do whatever it takes. The next morning, Segun began his redemption. He slipped into homes, returning stolen treasures. He rebuilt huts for those whose homes had been destroyed. He gave food to the hungry and cowries to the poor. The villagers were stunned by his generosity, but remained wary, for they still did not know the source of his wealth. One day, as he walked alongside the villagers to repair a broken wall, the Oba approached him. Segun, the king said, you have done much for Oloruko, yet your past remains a mystery. Who are you truly? Segun bowed his head. I am a man who made mistakes, Kabiesi, but I am trying to make amends. The Oba studied him for a long moment before nodding. Then let the gods judge your heart. In weeks that followed, Segun felt lighter. He had given away all his wealth and destroyed the remaining leaves, vowing never to misuse such power again. Though he was no longer rich, he found peace in the gratitude of his people and the knowledge that he had broken the curse. As the sun set over Oloruko one evening, Segun stood on the hill overlooking the village. The old man appeared beside him, as silently as a shadow. You have done well, the old man said. Remember, true wealth is not measured by what you take, but by what you give. Segun turned to thank him, but the old man was already gone, leaving only the rustle of leaves in the wind. I hope you enjoyed this story. Let me know in the comment section what your favorite part was and what lesson you learned from this story. Thank you.